Now at 6 and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, a doctor murdered in the Houston area. The details of her fatal stabbing tonight.
In North Dallas, flash flooding claiming the lives of 2 people. What one mother has to say.
And Congressman Michael Cloud says he's working to expand the Port of Calhoun and the Port of Victoria.
We are looking at clearing skies. Pretty soon everything's going to be gone. It'll be a little chilly though, with that wind blowing still at about 10-15 miles an hour. So bundle up the kids, and for tomorrow we're looking for sunshine. We'll have all the weather details coming up.
And in sports, we will see how area volleyball teams did in the bi-district round of playoffs. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
Around 3:30 this afternoon, Victoria police say someone robbed the Supermercado Morelos grocery store. That's in the 2200 block of Lone Tree. The investigation is ongoing.
Around 30 people stood outside the Formosa plant in Port Comfort this afternoon to initiate a worldwide hunger strike. Nearly 180,000 people, along with sea life, were impacted by a subsidiary Formosa company in the Vietnam back in 2016 when toxic chemicals were released into the environment. Formosa paid $500 million to the Vietnamese government for damages, but to this day, many victims have not been compensated. The pollution devastated the environment, but while the community, people, and fishermen seek restitution, many of them have not been arrested, or rather, many of them have been arrested for speaking out.
Yes, of course, we want fair compensation, and another thing is we want to release all the prisoners who related to this call. We want Formosa clean up the polluted area that they made a big mess there.
Environmentalist Diane Wilson will refrain from eating and strike out in front of the plant until Formosa initiates some sort of response or change.
U.S. Congressman District 27 Michael Cloud says he's working with the Corps of Engineers and other agencies to expand the Port of Calhoun and the Port of Victoria. Area leaders say that's key for economic development to continue in the Crossroads. The expansion would allow for larger ships at the port system. Congressman Cloud is optimistic about the expansion, but stresses this project is going to take time to develop.
Doing the Port of Calhoun is to expand the project, to deepen it, to widen it, to allow bigger ships in. This will expand the capacity of that port and allow us to be a resource for the world and really help the economy here at home.
Congressman Cloud says they're still looking at least a 2-year timeline for the full port expansion.
In this Texas constitutional amendment election, Proposition 9 would authorize a cost of living adjustment for the teacher retirement system of Texas. It would provide a one-time transfer of funds for a cost of living adjustment of monthly death or retirement annuities from the teacher retirement system. Without having received a cost of living adjustment in nearly 20 years, retired teachers have lost considerable buying power with their TRS annuity due to cost increases and high inflation. Election Day is Tuesday, November 7th. That's next Tuesday.
And now let's take a look at your forecast with Chief Meteorologist Mac Bettis, who's telling us that the kids are going to have to wear an extra coat tonight for trick-or-treating.
Yes, I think so, because of the wind. Now the skies are clearing, the clouds are gone, the rain is gone, but that wind keeps blowing out of the north, and that's going to make it a little chilly out there. So bundle up the kids as you head out the door. Now we're going to be doing, down into the 40s tonight, but much of North Texas is going to be looking at their first killing freeze of the season tonight as the skies clear. It gets colder. We'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Mike, thank you. Family and friends of a beloved pediatrician in the Houston area are in anguish after someone stabbed her to death at her apartment building Saturday.
A man has now been charged in the doctor's death, and the family hopes this can bring some sort of closure.
A loving mother and a devoted pediatrician. That's how Dr. Talat Khan's niece and brother knew her best.
Extremely loving, kind. She was my aunt. And the best aunt.
To her kids and her kids that she looked after as a pediatrician for her entire life. everything in her life revolved around those two things.
Wajahat Niaz says his sister recently moved to Conroe in July from Seattle, hoping for more sunshine.
She liked to see the sun and the warm weather. So that was one of the main reasons why she moved here.
Their world turned upside down on Saturday after learning Dr. Khan was brutally murdered. Investigators say Dr. Khan was sitting at a picnic table inside the Alice Apartments when 24-year-old Miles Fridrich stabbed her multiple times. Several neighbors rushed to help.
It's so senseless. I mean, I have no word to describe it.
The motive is a mystery. Dr. Khan's family says they have never heard of Fridrich before, but it's unclear if they knew each other.
To our knowledge,
Not that
no.
we know of.
It's unclear why Fridrich was at the Alice Apartments. His arrest information shows he has a Dallas address. Records show he has previous arrests in Conroe.
This loss is just unimaginable for us. We are not able to understand this or to make sense out of it. A murder like this should not go unpunished.
Dr. Khan leaves behind a 14-year-old daughter and a 23-year-old son. The suspect is currently being held on a $500,000 bond. Two North Texas families are reeling after flash flooding killed two drivers along the same stretch of a rural roadway this past weekend. In Kaufman County, two drivers died after being trapped in high water. 23-year-old Angel McKnight was driving early Saturday morning to check on her mother in Dallas, but floodwaters swept away her SUV. The vehicle then became trapped underneath the roadway. Her family rushed to the scene, but hours later, authorities made the terrible discovery.
For the vehicle out, she wasn't in it, so we thought some kind of relief, but she would have called, this and that. So there was a boat, and then they got her on the side of the pond on that side. And then my twin identified the body, because I couldn't do it.
The Kaufman County Sheriff's Office says 70-year-old Sheila Butler was also killed in the weekend flooding. The county's emergency management coordinator says 30 homes suffered damage, and Kaufman County says damage will not qualify for federal aid, so they will be relying on help from local organizations.
A man and woman who were fatally shot at a house party over the weekend have been identified. Authorities told KSAT in San Antonio 40-year-old Marvin Rendino and 30-year-old Jennifer Collin died of gunshot wounds to the head, and their 13-year-old daughter was sent to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect is 20-year-old Raul Trevino III, accused of opening fire at the party on Saturday. Trevino has been charged with capital murder of multiple persons and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. His bond is set at $825,000.
A person working at the Austin Bergstrom International Airport died after being hit and injured by a fuel truck this morning. An airport spokesperson said it was not clear which company the person was employed by, and it was not clear who owns the fuel truck. Fire officials said the person was hit by the truck near a service road between gates 33 and 34. CPR was performed on the employee before being pronounced dead shortly after 10 a.m.
Federal agents will no longer be able to cut razor wire along the U.S.-Mexico border. That's according to a new ruling from a federal Texas judge that temporarily blocks the Biden administration practice. However, the U.S. Border Patrol says it sometimes needs to cut the wire to save migrants at risk of dehydration or drowning. So now the restraining order to stop wire cutting with an exemption for emergency medical situations is only in place until November 13th so that both sides can present arguments in court.
The Texas Senate Tuesday passed a bill increasing the funding to build a border wall. The bill would devote over $1.5 billion to continue building the border wall, in addition to the over $5 billion in the budget to continue funding Operation Lone Star. The bill would also increase law enforcement at the Colony Ridge development in Liberty County. A ban on COVID-19 vaccine mandates for employees of private Texas businesses is on its way to Governor Abbott's desk, carrying with it a $50,000 fine for employers who punish workers for refusing the shot. The Texas Tribune reports senators accepted the House version of the legislation this afternoon. The legislation offers no exceptions for health facilities. Private employers are allowed by the legislation to require unvaccinated employees and contractors to wear protective gear.
And construction has started on a new elementary in Uvalde. It is set to replace Robb Elementary, where 19 children and 2 teachers were killed on May 24th of 2022. The groundbreaking ceremony took place Saturday. The Moving Forward Foundation says they want a place where students will feel welcome and safe. The new school is scheduled to open in the fall of 2025 next to the existing Dalton Elementary. The campuses will share a gym, a library, and playgrounds. Now, according to the foundation, 75% of construction is already funded. The City of Victoria and AEP Texas have wrapped up the second phase of the citywide lighting project. During the past year and a half, AEP has replaced almost 3,700 amber-colored high-pressure sodium streetlights, about 85% of streetlights in Victoria, with bright white LED models. AEP is still replacing 360 lights on the north side of Victoria. These remaining lights will be upgraded by the end of the year.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. Plus, the second patient to receive a pig heart transplant dies. Coming up on 25 News now at 6. The details straight ahead.
Find out how one hospital in the Dallas area helped children celebrate Halloween night.
Hi, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs with the Victoria Police Department. Victoria Crime Stoppers is seeking information about a burglary of a motor vehicle. On October 10th, 2023, at about 9:30 a.m., a toolbox was stolen from a vehicle located at the 8000 block of North Navarro. Surveillance cameras showed the suspect to be a white male with a goatee, wearing a blue long-sleeved hoodie shirt, gray shorts, and a red and black baseball cap. The suspect left the location in a white SUV. If you have any information about this burglary of a motor vehicle, please call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. You can also submit a tip by using the P3 Tip app on your Android or Apple device, or by visiting our website at www.crimestoppersvictoria.com. All tips are anonymous, and if you give information that leads to an arrest or charges being filed, you could earn a cash reward. With the Victoria Police Department, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs.
The second person to use the heart of a pig in a transplant has died. Lawrence Fawcett, age 58, died 6 weeks after receiving a genetically modified pig heart. Fawcett wasn't eligible for a traditional human heart transplant due to his heart disease and pre-existing conditions. Doctors who worked on Fawcett at the University of Maryland Medical Center say he was making significant progress, but his body began to reject the pig heart in his final days. The University of Maryland also performed the first pig heart transplant surgery back in 2022. 57-year-old David Bennett died 2 months after that surgery.
Governor Greg Abbott is the most popular state leader in Texas. KXAN reports a new poll by the University of Texas and Texas Politics Project shows Governor Abbott has the highest approval rating at 49%, 9 points higher than the 40% who say they disapprove of the job he is doing as governor. The poll also shows Attorney General Ken Paxton and Speaker of the House Dade Phelan are both, as they say in politics, underwater in approval ratings. Both Paxton and Phelan's approval margins are at -9 percentage points.
A heroic effort makes Halloween super for a group of kids, plus the smashing of a giant pumpkin makes for a pretty big splash.
All this and more on your spooky Halloween evening.
Sugar, sweets, Halloween treats. Everyone deserves a little candy this haunted holiday, and WFAA reports the staff at MedStar in Fort Worth, Texas made sure their pediatric patients got to trick or treat this year. The kids either have medical conditions or illnesses that hamper their mobility. So the medics, in creative costume and fully adorned ambulances, help the kids hit the streets, going door to door in lavishly garnished gurneys in search of goodies. A special experience for the kids and kids in spirit.
It's something good. It's something warm and heartfelt. It's genuine. You get to feel nostalgic and remember like what it was like when you went trick-or-treating, but you're also providing something that these kids maybe wouldn't get to have the opportunity to do otherwise.
3, 2, 1. This is one way to toss out your laughably large pumpkin. Drop it from a crane and let it plop into a pool. Curse splash! That's exactly what happens at the Seaside, Oregon Pumpkin Drop. Patrons purchase rubber beavers and ducks to fill the pool. The giant gourd then sends them soaring into the crowd, and whichever one flies the farthest wins a cash prize. This next one is a real dine and dash, or rather smash and bash. The animal runs into this restaurant in Beloit, Wisconsin, sending customers scrambling from their seats as the deer dashes through the dining room. Then, the wild animal simply waltzes through the kitchen and with no more snacks in sight, heads out the back door. Oh dear. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
And here is your viewer poll this evening. The question is, do you plan to dress your pet for Halloween? Yes or no? We want to know, and you can also post your pet photo. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote. And according to our results, it looks like 11% are going to dress up their pets and 89% say no. Either way, we want to see those photos. And now here's Mac with your weather.
We had a really cute pet this afternoon. We had a little party
Several
too.
dogs, yeah.
Well, the one that won I thought was terrific because he just sit there and enjoyed everybody looking at him.
Corn, I think.
Exactly. Puppy unicorn. Okay. Well, folks, skies have cleared out and we're looking for a little cooler temperatures tonight. Right now it's 59 degrees, and if you're sending the kids out, just know that the wind is the only problem. That is making it feel cooler than that 59. As a matter of fact, with dew points very low, we are looking at feels like 59, but temperatures dropping into the 40s by about 9 o'clock, so keep that in mind. Coming up, we'll be talking about what to expect for the rest of the week, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Well, it's a busy night in the Crossroads. Lots of ghosts and goblins out there. So drive carefully tonight and do watch out for the kids. Some of them may just be crossing the road at the wrong time. 59 degrees right now. Our low temperature got down to 45 last night. 59 is actually the highest temperature we've had because the sun came out. The cloud deck is gone. The rain is gone. So that gloomy stuff is gone. So now we're looking for sunshine for the next couple of days. We did manage to get 1/100th of an inch of rain. That brings our month to 5.66 and our year to 31.24, but that still almost 4 inches below our seasonal average. So as you can see right about here, there's Victoria. You can see the cloud deck just slowly drifting out into the Gulf of Mexico. All the rain is out in the Gulf of Mexico as well, so drier air rolling in. Drier air, northerly winds, that will make it rather chilly tonight. So just bundle up the kids. It's rather cool out there. The rain did not amount to much. I mean, it was soupy, it was cloudy, it was cold and wet, but it was very light rainfall. Now, the big concern is with clearing skies, the temperature drops. As a result, now more counties in Texas are going to be involved in that freeze warning. In fact, you can see Austin is about involved, so is San Antonio, all the way down to about the Pearsall area and out in West Texas. This is a killing frost. It's the first big hard freeze. Temperatures below 32 for more than 4 hours. And so, you know, I'm sure the croplands are ready for this, but, you know, flowers on the patio and non-native vegetation is going to take it pretty much tonight. And of course, that whole thing goes all the way out into the Gulf states. Temperatures, there you see future temperatures, 6 p.m. right about now. And then we're going forward all the way to about midnight. We'll be down into the low 40s, okay? Of course, factor in the wind. And then tomorrow at 6 a.m. will be even a couple of 30s in the local area. So yeah, the clearing skies makes a big difference. And then by noontime, we'll get up to the 50s, and our high temperature should get us almost to 60 degrees tomorrow afternoon. And so we're now going to see a slow warming trend. Now tomorrow we'll see a little bit of sun and warming weather, and high pressure is going to build in, and that's going to dry everything up. So we're going to have some sunny, mild days and some rather cool nights as high pressure is pretty much in control. Though no stormy weather headed in our direction. That frontal system out there in the northwest in about 5 days may get into our region, but it's a slow mover and we'll be watching it to see if it actually makes it down. So got to mention this. This is Hurricane Pilar. At this time, Pilar is moving away from the Mexican coast. Good. They've had enough trouble, and that's definitely going to get moving in that direction. But you see right about here, you see these yellow lines? These are the upper winds, and the upper winds steer the storms. So you can see everything's going in that direction. So if any storm were to get up near Baja, then it would get picked up by this and cross over and get into our area. So that's what we're watching very carefully. All right, we are looking at your day planner. 44 to 63 tomorrow in Port Lavaca with sunshine. And then about 39 to 61 tomorrow in Cuero with sunshine. And so we've got sunshine for the next few days. Temperatures getting up to about 80 degrees on Saturday and Sunday. Not bad at all. In fact, no real rain chance until about next Tuesday with the next front. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we've got a QR code. Love for you to scan that and put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Karina.
Thank you, Mac. And now here's Sports Director Gina Perez.
Thanks, Karina. Game 4 of the World Series starts tonight, but we have highlights of Game 3. That's coming up after the break. At a crossroads, first-year head football coach for the Victoria East Titans is turning heads on and off the field and will be receiving an award for his efforts. Dave Campbell's Texas Magazine and Be Well Texas is recognizing Charlie Reeve along with 13 other head football coaches around the Lone Star State for their leadership during this season. Reeve will be presented with the Unsung Coaches Award paired with a commemorative football and $1,000 for the Titans program. He will be honored before the Battle of the Boot Friday night at 7:30. The bi-district round of playoffs is in the books, and the top-ranked team in the state took care of business last night. The Goliad Tigerettes traveled down to Odom and proved who the real queens of the jungle are by sweeping the Santa Gertrudis Lionesses, winning 25-10, 25-11, and 25-12. The Cuero Lady Gobblers are the bi-district champions after last night's 4-set win in Seguin. Cuero won by an average of 8 points. Cuero dropped the second set but responded by winning the next two. Cuero will play Needville in the area round of playoffs, and that game will be in Ganado. The West Lady Warriors brought the brooms to Kingsville, that is. Multiple Lady Warriors had 8 kills and multiple blocks. Jasmine Valenzuela led the team with 29 digs. West will advance to the area round of playoffs this Friday night in at Corpus Christi High School in Carroll High School. The Lady Warriors will take on Sherryland Pioneer. That game starts at 6. The Calhoun Sandies are taking care of business against the Carrizo Spring Lady Cats, winning in 3 sets. Calhoun will look to continue its hot streak against Tuloso Midway in a couple of days on Thursday in Refugio. First serve is at 6 o'clock, and the Calhoun Sandies are ranked number 6 in the state. The Lady Cobras also get the victory in 3 sets over the Marion Lady Bulldogs, and the next round, Industrial will play against Poth, but the location, time, and date are to be determined. Well, everyone get their brooms out. There are many more sweeps featuring area teams. The El Campo Lady Ricebirds sweep the Sweeney Lady Bulldogs. The Shiner Lady Comanches took care of business, beating the Kennedy Lionesses in 3 sets, and will play Thrall in Smithville on Thursday. The Lady Bulldogs of Yoakum swept Luling, and there are going to be more games tonight, including the Edna Cowgirls playing Randolph, and St. Joseph. That game is going on at the St. Joe Dome against Second Baptist, and that is tied at 1 set apiece. And lastly, Game 4 of the World Series is tonight, but here are the highlights from last night's Game 3. The D-backs knock one into right field, and the runner is heading home. Adolis Garcia, though, fields it and launches it home. He's DOA. What a throw by Garcia. That saves a run for the Rangers. But the Rangers begin to heat up, and Simeon, he rockets one into left center gap, bringing home 1 run, and Corey Seager would contribute later on in the inning with a blast from the pass to make it a 3-run inning as this one goes over the right field wall, and this was all done with 2 outs. And the final out was by Leclerc as he blows it by Pham to take the lead in the series 2-1. And we have breaking news out of the Rangers corner. Adolis Garcia will not be playing in tonight's game after suffering a tightness in his left side after leaving last night's game early. And breaking news, the college football playoff initial picture was released about 5 minutes ago. Oregon makes it in at number 6, Washington is at 5, Florida State at 4, Michigan at 3, Georgia at 2, and Ohio State, the top-ranked team in the nation as of now. And the Texas Longhorns missed it at a 7th spot. That could change throughout the season. We'll have to see. But that's your sports. Don and Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Gina. We're back in a moment. A clinic in Ohio will start delivering certain medications to patients by drone in just over a year from now.
2025, the Cleveland Clinic plans to use drones to deliver certain medications directly to patients' homes. The main drone is about 6 to 8 feet wide and will fly 300 feet up to its destination. Patients can follow in real time on an app. It can only carry about 8 pounds. And of course, trick-or-treaters have to carry a lot of poundage tonight if they get a lot of candy.
Absolutely. So everybody, obviously, be concerned with traffic and kids walking up and down sidewalks tonight. It's going to be a little windy. That's the only problem. But temperature is going to be in the upper 40s.
All right, thank you, Mac. Thanks for joining us.
We hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10.